Hello and welcome to another episode of our webinar series 2020. Today we're gonna check what it's all about Atacama and the Uyuni Salt Flats in Bolivia. So Nomade is a representation company for unique experiences of South America. Our properties are mainly based in Chile, in Peru, in the Sacred Valley of Peru, and also we have cruises to Antarctica. So if you need more information, please visit our website, nomade.com.au. Okay, so let's check about Explora. Okay, so Explora is a travel company that owns and operates luxury lodges in remote areas of South America. So we have, as I was saying, we have the Atacama Desert. This is what we're going to see today. With the Travesia to the Uyuni Salt Flat. Okay, we have also exploring the Sacred Valley in Peru. We have a property in Easter Island in Rapa Nui. We have Explora Patagonia, which was the first Explora more than 25 years ago, was open, and opening this December, Explora El Chalten in Argentinian Patagonia. Okay, so let's check about Atacama. Atacama Desert is the driest desert in the world. The main reason is that this desert is in between the Andes mountain range and the South mountain range. Both of these mountain ranges, they actually block all the moisture and all the rain from the ocean and from the actual continent. So you have a very dry area that doesn't receive any rain or any water in probably 40 to 30 years. Okay. But the oasis of San Pedro de Atacama is where Explora is located. Okay, so Explora Atacama is a 17-hectare piece of land when you can find, of course, the lodge, and it will be your base camp to actually explore the Atacama Desert. Okay, this is an oasis. You can actually see vegetation. There's water. There's actually a river in this, a very small river in this area. And it was one of the stops of the Inca Empire in the past. Okay, so the Inca Empire went all the way from central Colombia all the way down to central Chile, passing through the Atacama Desert and specifically through the oasis of San Pedro de Atacama. Here you can see what the common areas of the lodge actually look like, and this will be your base camp to explore this amazing region. Okay, here you have a map of the Atacama Desert. You have what you see down there is the salt flat of Atacama. From there you see the oasis of San Pedro de Atacama, which is a little bit of green in there, and then you have the whole Atacama Desert open to actually explore. And from here, from Explora Atacama, you'll use Explora Atacama as your main base camp to actually explore this amazing region. There's a lot of people that talk about what you're going to do in the desert. What, like there's only sand and not much to do. This is actually not true. There's a lot to see. There's a lot to explore, and never forget that you're very, very close to the Andes mountain range. As you can see on the map, you have a lot of volcanoes in the area, and you have hot springs, then you have the salt flats, different lagoons. So a lot to see. Most people probably they will recommend 3 nights, a 3-night program. I would definitely recommend a little bit more because with 3 nights you have 2 full days and you can explore the highlights of the destination, and with a couple of more days you can actually go a little bit further away from San Pedro de Atacama and explore some areas that are more remote. And when you go a little bit more remote in this type of areas, you definitely can experience the destinations in its full. Okay. So as we have discussed before, the programs at Explora, especially in Explora Atacama as well, is an all-inclusive type of program, transfers, accommodation, all meals and beverage, and more than 40 different explorations to choose from. So every night you sit down with one of our guides, and you'll be able to choose some of these different explorations, going to different areas, different types of doing the actual exploration. It could be hiking, biking, horseback riding, or by van. So it really depends on the passenger, the way they want to explore and discover this amazing destination. Okay, so before going into what the destination has to offer, let's check Explora Atacama, our exploration base. So this is the hotel. This is the view that you get. What you see back there is the Cancabur volcano, which is sacred for the local people here, and is actually part of the explorations that you can do. The most demanding exploration would be climbing the Cancabur volcano. So the idea of having these 40 different explorations to choose from is to have the flexibility to explore in the destination in your own way at your own pace. Okay, so you have a very on one side you have a very mild type of exploration, which is going to see the salt flat of Atacama, see the flamingos. It's a 15-minute ride by van to the salt flat from the hotel. You spend there an hour and a half maximum checking the place, seeing the flamingos. Hopefully, you go on the sunset and enjoy what the colors and what the salt flat has to offer. On the other side, you can climb the Cancabur volcano and everything in between. So again, you are the owner of your own experience. Okay, this is what the hotel looks like. Again, in accordance, always trying to have an architecture that goes in accordance with the destination, and this is what you can actually be able to see when you get to the hotel. This is a map of the hotel and the different areas of the actual property of Explora. So going in, you will see the stables and the horses right away. Then you have the main buildings with the rooms surrounding them, and then you have different green areas in different parts of the hotel. You have 4 swimming pools. One of them is a heated swimming pool. You have the spa. You have a barbecue area, the quincho, and of course the observatory, which is used for stargazing. Okay, which will be one of the main things what the Atacama Desert is famous for. In terms of the infrastructure of the hotel, 50 rooms, up to 50 square meters for the suites, and then the 1933 square meters, which are the Tulu rooms, and then 2730, another 33 square meter type of room. Okay, so between 33 to 50 square meters, so there's a lot of space, very comfortable. Again, at Explora, you won't find a TV, a minibar, or Wi-Fi on the room, but you will find Wi-Fi on the common areas of the hotel, and of course, it's all inclusive. You have an open bar in the common areas of the hotel as well. Here's the view of the Andes mountain range from the rooms, and the idea is to provide a lot of natural light coming in, and of course, an inspiration to go out. We want to provide a 5-star lodge, but the idea is to explore this amazing destination. Here, what you can see is a very comfortable type of room, but very simple as well, taking in consideration what the design and what the destination has to offer. As we said, all the meals and all the services are provided, and everything is done here in the common areas of the hotel. The dining room, then you can see the living room itself, the bar. So the idea is to provide a space of discussion where the dynamics, you meet with other travelers, you can discuss what they have been doing, what places have they actually explored, and get that input with your guide and see what you want to do on your explorations. Okay, of course, as we said, the views from the Andes mountain range and having the Andes mountain range so close is an amazing privilege. Okay, we have a barbecue area where we have like roasted lamb, which is famous for Chile and other parts of South America as well. And the idea is that we invite all our guests to experience this. Some cultural activities as well from the local people to have that cultural component to what your client experience will be. The spa and the pools, the idea is to provide, again, this is the desert, so it's really hot over the day, and you go out exploring, there's a lot of dust, sand, so you can come and refresh when you come back from your explorations. Okay, this is a little bit of different infrastructure that is in the hotel, the hot tubs, the outdoor hot tubs, the swimming pools, the barbecue areas, and this 17-hectare piece of land where the hotel is located, you can actually go and explore as well. As I mentioned before, the observatory, which has one of the biggest private telescopes in Chile, is located 5 minutes from the front desk, and we provide stargazing tours every single night. Okay, when we have clear skies, which is 95% of the year, and that's why this region is very famous and known for stargazing. Actually, NASA has one of their biggest telescopes and radio telescopes and projects in the world are located in the Atacama Desert. So the right place for stargazing. Okay. Also, we have hot springs, and you can actually access this piece of land where the hot springs are located are owned by Explora. So again, Explora is a company that doesn't outsource any of their services. If we offer horseback riding or we offer stargazing, we own the infrastructure to actually be able to provide these services and have the flexibility, even though when the hotel is at full capacity, only if one person or one of our passengers wants to do a stargazing tour, he can actually go and do it, or horseback ride. Okay, again, flexibility is the key of the program. And here you can see a little bit of the experience that the Explora lodges will able to deliver when you visit them. Okay, as we said, especially trained horses for the desert, and the idea is to know our horses very well. Is part of the benefits of owning and having this infrastructure. Even though you have never been on a horse before, you can take a 45 to 1 hour class of horseback riding and then go explore some of the different areas of the desert. Okay, so the idea is again to provide unique experiences to all our passengers. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the explorations, the different things that you will be able to see, but also the destination itself. This is an amazing destination. Once you arrive to the desert, you'll see at the beginning you'll think, oh, there's nothing there. On your way from the airport to San Pedro de Atacama, the town where the hotel is located, you won't see much. The destination doesn't reveal itself until you actually get into the town and start getting out and do your exploration. So as we said, more than 40 different explorations, walking, biking, horseback riding, even high mountain ascents, and the astronomical sessions that take place every night. So you have a lot of dunes where you can actually enjoy some horseback riding. But when you go checking what's available, you see the different terrains of what the Atacama Desert has to offer. Okay, so there's areas that is called the Moon Valley, because it looks exactly like the moon, and then you have some areas that are very similar to what we have seen from NASA images of Mars. So there's a lot of different things that are happening at the same time, and when you get the different lights from different times of the day, the whole colors and the whole structures of the geological structures of the destination, they start making this destination comes alive. Okay, remember that we said that we Explora own the land where the hot springs are located, so you can see a little bit of green there. You have hot water coming out from the earth from the hot springs, and this feeds the ground, and then so you see some vegetation and of course the different aspects of what's available. Every time you go out, you go out with one of our guides, professional guides. They all been trained in our guiding school, and the idea is that each guide have a different specialty or an area that they're an expert, and they can actually provide and share all that information with our guests and our clients. Okay. Every night before dinner, pisco sour in hand, Chilean wine in hand, you'll sit down with one of our guides. They will show you a map of the area. They will show you different areas that you can visit, and then the different ways that you can visit these specific areas. So this will allow each passenger to decide what they want to do according to what they know about the destination, their level of fitness, their interests, and people they want to do more photography, more people that they want to have a more active type of experience. So it really depends on the passenger, the way they want to explore the destination. Level of fitness required? Not at all. You can actually go and do some of the main areas of the destination or the highlights of the destination by van, enjoying that, and then all the way up to, as we said, climbing a volcano. Okay. Some of the highlights of the destination itself: you have the Patio Geysers, okay, which is a natural reserve, which is at 4,321 meters above sea level. So altitude is one of the key aspects that you need to discuss with your clients when they visit this destination. Okay, the first day we always recommend to do something very, very light or a very mild type of exploration, a half day. Don't eat too much, don't drink alcohol, and this will prepare your body for getting to get used to the altitude and then be able to explore the different areas. So the town of San Pedro itself and the hotel is located at 2,400 meters above sea level. And from there, you have different areas that you can explore. Okay, going all the way to 6,000 meters above sea level in the high mountain ascents. But you have these areas like the geysers that it's 4,000 meters above sea level. Okay. Then we discuss about hot springs, which is called Puritama, which is 3,500 meters above sea level. So still pretty high, and your body will feel the effects of less oxygen in the air, and getting used to this level of oxygen is key to actually enjoy the destination. That's why the first and second day, take it easy, and then you can start pushing it a bit harder if the client wants to do that. Okay. You have all these rock formations. This is near San Pedro, for example. What you see in here, this place is called Cari, and it's 2,600 meters above sea level. Okay, it's distance of 5 kilometers, very easy. You can see there in the picture. Kids can actually tackle this, and it won't be a big effort for them. Okay. Then we work very closely with local communities, which is part of what Explora does in all their destinations. But here, the Atacamanian culture is part of the Andean culture. So if your clients, for example, are visiting Peru, they're going to see a lot of similarities between what's happening in Peru, in Bolivia, and in the Atacama Desert. It's all part of this Andean culture that take place in higher altitudes. Okay, and as we were discussing, a strong influence from the Inca Empire in the past. Okay, that as I mentioned before, the Inca Empire spread from central Colombia all the way to central Chile, and San Pedro de Atacama was one of the stops, or in Spanish called tambos, where the Inca Empire actually hold a lot of the crops and some of the wealth of the different areas of the Andean communities, and then taking everything back to Cusco, which was the capital of the Inca Empire. Okay. So as we mentioned, the idea is to provide an all-inclusive type of program. Experience from the beginning to end, the explorations, the accommodations, all the tickets to the national parks are included, all the meals and beverage, all transfers, all the Explora, everything is done with the Explora guides. And of course, we have different lectures depending each night. We have different lectures depending on nature, the flora, the fauna, and different aspects of the destination itself. Okay. We also have corporate programs, incentive programs, bike riding, yoga, photography, and archaeology. So if there's a group that you're managing and they have a special interest, even though it's not some of the ones that we name here, we can actually make it happen. So again, the fact that Explora doesn't outsource any of their services allow us to actually customize your experience if needed. Okay. So that's a little bit, that's what Explore Atacama is all about. And now let's check, about the combination of Atacama, the Atacama Desert, with the salt flat of Uyuni. Okay, Uyuni, the Uyuni Salt Flat is located in Bolivia. Okay, and it is the biggest salt flat in the world. So you can see here in the map how Explore Atacama is located compared to the Uyuni Salt Flat, and how Explora will actually go here. This is very remote area. Okay, not easy to operate. Okay, in Bolivia and in this part of the world, you have what we call the is the Andean winter, which is with it actually happens in summer season. Okay, southern hemisphere. So our summer season is the same as in Chile. So between the months of January and February, late December to February, you will experience rain and water coming into this area, and sometimes it's actually you can get floods. And this is what people will expect to see, this the salt flat of Uyuni covered in 1 or 2 centimeters of water, when they can take these pictures of um, like a huge mirror effect that you can get in the salt flat of Uyuni. Okay, this is something that a lot of people go and they want to see that, they want to take a picture. Is but it doesn't allow you to actually cross the salt flat of Uyuni. This, when you have water in the salt flat of Uyuni, it actually allows you to go by the borders of the salt flat, get a little bit into it, but not in deep as Explora does it. Okay, so this nomadic journey that actually crossed the Andes mountain range from Chile to Bolivia, is only operated between the dry season, which would be from April to November. Okay, and even though you want the chances of seeing the mirror effect that they call it, because of the level of water that you can get on the salt flat, even though you want the chances of seeing that is very low in this season, you will get an in-depth experience of the Uyuni Salt Flat. That means that you will, as you are seeing on the map, you will actually cross it. Okay, cross it from one side to the other. So every time we do this nomadic journey from Chile to Bolivia to explore the Uyuni Salt Flat, there's a private travel guide and driver for you. Of course, four-wheel drive vehicles that are part of the whole trip. And this is for all type of travelers. Okay, there's not a minimum level of fitness that you need to have. It's more being keen to actually explore. Okay, the programs goes between 7 to 11 nights, depending on how much time your client has, and of course we do this route across, depending. You can start from Chile to Bolivia, or you can start in Bolivia going into Chile. And of course, because being this remote, is an inclusive type of program. Okay. As we mentioned, we recommend starting in Atacama, which will help you with getting used to the altitude, because at some points when you cross to the Andes mountain range, you are almost at 5,000 meters above sea level, and one of the camps is at 4,700 meters above sea level. So even though it's a very comfortable camp, and there actually is new, will be opening next year, the altitude is there. Okay, and it's a factor that will actually manage and will indicate how much you can advance and how well your clients are going to feel when actually doing this trip. So the idea is to start with in the Atacama Desert, getting used to the altitude, setting up this process. You'll spend a couple of nights there, and two to three nights. You will be able to explore the Atacama Desert, so you'll get a little bit of both experiences, both the Atacama Desert and surroundings, and then also the Uyuni Salt Flat. Okay, so when you start traveling all the way to getting into the Andes mountain range and crossing into Bolivia, then you start seeing very, very remote areas, and the scenery starts changing right away. So you see different lagoons. Here in the crossings, you have the green lagoon, the pink lagoon, and different areas. You have a lot of flamingos in there, and different flora as well. So different types of plants that grow in different, according to the altitude and the level of water that they have available. Here you can see also part of the wildlife. Of course, the guanacos are there. These big cactus are part of the scenery. Geysers, not only in the Tatio geysers that we discussed, but also other smaller areas that you will find geysers as well. And then, of course, getting into the salt flat of Uyuni, which is what you see here. Okay, this is what you can expect. This is the vehicles that we're using, and of course, Explora is always connected with a satellite phone to headquarters to explore Atacama, and of course, having all the vehicles prepared for any emergency that it can happen. But of course, a lot of experience of our drivers and our guides in this area. Of course, we work with a Bolivian company that actually is providing the in-depth guiding of the destination. Okay, but this is what people will expect. I think this probably would be one of the most remote areas in South America. So this is new. Okay, so this is what the new camps of Explora will look like. Okay, they are under construction right now, opening in April 2021. And when you are in the middle of the Andes mountain range at 4,700 meters above sea level, and you arrive to a place like this, is when you actually understand how Explora has been developing and have been being able to deliver these unique experiences to our passengers and doing it in a very high standard way. Here you have other parts of the other camps, and of course, admiring the vastness of the Uyuni Salt Flat. Okay, so the idea is that you're going to be moving on this nomadic trip. You're going to be moving every day from one camp to the next one. In between one camp and the other, you can actually do some hiking, do some exploration. You can take, of course, pictures. You will have lunch in the middle of the Uyuni Salt Flat, and then, of course, always arriving to the Explora camp, okay, which will be exclusive for this nomadic trip that is done by Explora. This is very unique. This is not easy to accomplish. Literally having this level of luxury in one of the most remote areas of the world is what Explora thrives on, and I'm very proud to be part of this project as well. Okay, checking into a little bit the map of what you'll be doing when you do this exploration. You will start at Explora Atacama. Okay, so you will start here, and then going into the mountain home of Ramaditas, then the mountain home of at Chituca, and then the Uyuni Lodge. Here, what you can see is that you're crossing the Andes mountain range from Chile to Bolivia, and then with Explora, you'll be crossing the Uyuni Salt Flat twice. So the first time when you actually go from the mountain home of Chituca, which is located here, all the way going north to the Uyuni Lodge, okay, which is part of Explora, and then going into getting out of the Uyuni Salt Flat to this side, okay. We have been exploring this area for more than 15 years, and of course the level of experience is very high to be able to actually deliver this level of service in this part of the world. Okay, if we check a little bit more the day-to-day itinerary, okay, we'll see that the first day is arriving into Explora Atacama. Then day 2 and 3 is actually exploring the Atacama Desert, okay, what we discussed before. And day 4, you actually take the full drives and crossing the border, okay. Then on day 5, you will see how the landscape and traveling through the Andes mountain range, the scenery start to change. We said from Ramaditas to Chituca, these two camps are part of Explora as well, and then of course from Chituca to the Uyuni Salt Flat, okay, on day 6, and from day 7 and 8 you'll be in, so you have 2 days that you were immersed into the Uyuni Salt Flat, okay. Then 9 you're still in Uyuni but already on your way out, okay. And then it really depends on what type of itinerary, if you're starting in Chile or if you're starting in Bolivia. If you have 8, 9 or up to 11 days of exploring this area, it really depends on the passenger, and we'll have different departures every month from April to November, okay. So that's what we have to tell you about Atacama and Uyuni. Of course, one of the highlights of South America. This destination have taken a lot of people's interest, and I think this both destinations have been part of the growth of the passengers that visit South America. So Atacama Desert today is something that you must see, and Uyuni, of course, one of the most remote areas in South America and in the world, and of course, a very unique experience for your clients. Okay, thank you again for joining, and we'll see you on our next webinar. Thank you very much.